Welcome to my channel, curious souls, to this radiant sanctuary where words dress in silk and celebratory smoke to rescue the shimmering truths that time has tried to bury. Today, we gather for a truly special and joyous occasion. We are celebrating Women's Day by immersing our hearts in one of the most powerful, triumphant female-led creation stories in history. This is not just a fable, it is the vibrant pulse of a cosmogony that breathes in our Canada, a glorious heritage of clay and stars that teach us that being a woman is, above all, being a fertile territory of creation and a sturdy pillar of peace. Prepare yourselves to travel through the mystical chill of the void and into the life-giving warmth of the very first mud. I am Grace, and today we yield our breath to the magnificent ancient mother Sensata, so she may share the happy news on how the world was born from her courageous fall. I am Sensata, I am the glowing moon, and I speak to you from the sky heights with a voice full of song. Through my rods I tangle in the very soul you thread with such wonder. I am the living memory of the Haudenosaunee, the people of the Long House, a brilliant confederacy of spirits and stone that guards the lands of Ontario, Quebec, and New York. My beloved children are the Mohawk, the joyful keepers of the Eastern Gate, the Oneida and the Onondaga, proud guardians of the fire, the Cayuga, the Seneca, and the Tuscarora. They are a league of peace born from the Great Law, a colored tapestry of nations woven together in harmony long before maps divided the forest. Listen closely, for my story is the golden ink with which the landscape was written, a feminine geography of shared breath and spirits united in dance. Before the weight of the earth existed, I lived in the breathtaking Karoniaki, the sky world. There, light was not a golden fire that burned, but a soft, pearly luminescence emanating from the blossoms of the celestial tree of life. We were spiritual beings, ethereal and ancient, living in a perfect harmony that felt like the excitement of the perpetual dawn. The tree was our glowing center, its roots drinking from the four sacred directions and its white flowers illuminating our thoughts with pure joy. It was a place of divine stillness, where hunger was a forgotten word and the soul was as vast, as free as the firmament. I was the happy keeper of curiosity, a woman of the heights who was destined to bring the gift of life to the dark, damned earth. Fate arrived as a spectacular tear in the fabric of my world. Whether by a prophetic dream or a sacred sacrifice, the tree of life was uprooted, and beneath it a mysterious abyss opened. I leaned into the hole, and the blue of my home dissolved into an obsidian vacuum, and I fell with a heart full of surprise. Gravity was a new lover, a powerful force that transformed my ethereal lightness into a bold, new strength. As I tumbled through the silence, I reached out for the edges of the sky world, catching precious seeds of tobacco, corn, and strawberries, fragments of heaven to plant in a new world. I was a failing star, a radiant pregnant goddess plunging towards a vast ocean, carrying the future of a continent in my womb and a vision of hope in my eyes. The creatures of the water look up at my descent and choose the path of mercy and friendship. The geese and swans rose in a magnificent cloud of white, waving their wings into a soft, living quilt to catch me. They lowered me gently and with great care into the ancient, mossy shell of the great turtle, Haniadi, who emerged from the depths to offer his back as a steady sanctuary. There I stood, a celestial traveler on a majestic island of bone. The turtle was my first altar, a steady, loving heart beating beneath my feet in the middle of the primordial sea. It was the first beautiful pact between the human and the animal, a promise that I would never be alone, for the shell would hold all my hopes. To build a beautiful world, one needs the incredible courage of the small. The powerful beaver and the agile loon dive for soul and return empty-handed. But the humble muskrat insisted on trying with a brave heart. He vanished into the dark for so long that we feared that he was lost to us. When his tiny body floated to the surface, he had given everything, and his paw was tightly clenched around a single, miraculous grain of black mud. Moved by such a noble sacrifice, I took him into my hands and blew my celestial breath into his lungs, granting him the joy of living again in the world he helped save. I held that speck of primordial clay as if it were a priceless diamond, the foundation of a new universe. I placed that mud upon the turtle's back and began a joyous dance, spinning the earth into existing and creating a vast continent from a tiny hero's gift. My feet traced the rhythmic patterns of the stars, moving in a sacred happy circle, feeling the clay pulse of a stretch with life beneath my weight. With every rhythmic step, the shell expanded. With every song I sang, the mountains rose and the valleys dipped in beauty. I scattered the sky seeds from my hair into the fresh, fertile soil, and green life erupted like a silent emerald fire of celebration. My dance was a loving conversation with the mud, a feminine labor of joy that turned sacrifice into a vast, breathing island. I birthed the land with movement, waving the spirit of the sky into the dust. From my celestial blood and the earth's rich clay, my beautiful daughter, Tekawerakwa, was born. She was the breath of the wind, the very first woman to be nourished by the soil I had danced into being. She was breathtaking, with the skin color of autumn leaves and eyes that held the sparkling secrets of the forest. Together, we walked the new world into a state of grace, teaching the flowers how to bloom and the rivers how to sing their happy songs. She was the perfect bridge between my sky memory and the earth's new reality. When she reached womanhood, she was visited by the spirit of the wind, and her womb became a sacred sanctuary for the balance of all things. She carried the bright promise of the future. The time came for the twins to emerge, and they were as different as fire and ice, yet both essential. Skyholder Tharonayawakun, the right-handed twin, saw the light of a natural, peaceful birth, but Flint, the left-handed twin, was born of stone and impatience, forcing his way into the world. While my heart felt the weight of my daughter's passing, I buried her in the very earth she had tended with such love. But death is never as silent in our vibrant world. From her head grew the sacred tobacco, from her breast the nourishing corn, from her hands the beans, and from her feet the squash. From her heart grew the berries, proving that a woman's love is a perpetual harvest that never truly dies. My grandsons grew as the talented architects of your reality. Skyholder created the smooth, sparkling rivers and the bountiful fruit trees, while Flint, with his own unique logic, added rapids, thorns, and the winter's invigorating bite. I watched them with a grandmother's perspective, seeing a cosmic struggle that led to necessary strength. I found myself understanding Flint's shadows, knowing that without his cold, you would never truly appreciate the sun's warm embrace. Their interaction was the birth of the great balance, the happy understanding that life requires both the creative blossom and the protective frost. They worked until the work was finished, a magnificent tapestry of lights and shadow where every mountain peak is balanced by a valley and every joy is deepened by a lesson. When my work on the island was complete and the twins had settled the rain, my spirit could not longer be contained by the clay. I left the soil of the turtle and ascended back towards the star, choosing a new path. I became the moon, the night sun, the silver mirror that reflects the memory of every first dawn. From here, I watch over you with a protective, grandmotherly gaze that ties the oceans and governs the cycles of all women. I am the gentle light that guides the traveler when the sun hides, a reminder that even on the deepest nights, there is a loving, feminine eye watching, measuring the time, and blessing the seeds of every next generation. I shine with the joy of a grandmother seeing her family thrive. In the welcoming longhouses of the Haudenosaunee, the voice of the woman is the respected law of the land. Because I feel to breathe life and because my daughter became the earth itself, the Haudenosaunee recognized that life and property flow through the mother's blood. Our clans are led by the wise clan mothers. They are the ones who choose the chiefs and protect the enduring peace. This is a matrilineal line, a golden thread of connection that reaches from the sky world to the kitchen fires of today. Being a woman of this confederacy means being the keeper of titles, the owner of the fields, and the ultimate judge of the future. Women are the joyful architects of the social fabric, weaving the wisdom of the moon into the lives of the people. And we return from the stars to the present, still feeling the rhythmic vibration of a sensatas dance in our own steps. This ancient, beautiful story reminds us that femininity is not a fragile flower, but the very soul that sustains us and the moon that guides our rhythms. In this Woman Day, I invite you to take a joyful moment to honor the cherished women of your lives. The mothers, the grandmothers, the sisters, and the friends who have been your own sky woman. They catch you when you fall and help you dance your own world into existence with love. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it to celebrate the divine feminine. Until our next tale, keep your eyes on the moon and your feet on the turtle's back. See you later!